Okay, let's start with the why I decided to delete Instagram. By the way, whatever I say in this video probably applies to other platforms as well, like TikTok and even YouTube Shorts, but Instagram was the platform for me where I was the most active. So why I deleted it? Well, reason number one for me, that back then I was trying to focus on building my business and I was reading lots of books about, increasing productivity. So I was trying to identify any kind of leaks I had in my calendar, and it turns out that Instagram was one of my big time wasters. The second reason is I didn't just spend an awful lot of time on Instagram, but I also realized it was kind of making me feel bad because I was constantly comparing myself and my life to other people's lives, and I think that's very unhealthy. I constantly saw random people taking fancy vacations and being better at skateboarding than I was, having more money than I do, being more productive than I was. So it was just very frustrating. So I came up with the solution. I set up a screen time limit of 15 minutes on my iPhone, and I thought that would solve the issue. But unfortunately it didn't, because I don't know, maybe you have the same experience, but if you set up those limits, then after a day or two, ignoring them becomes muscle memory. You just skip through them like they don't even exist. So I don't think they are very useful, to be honest. But yeah, that's what I tried first, because I thought deleting the app from my phone would probably be a bit too extreme. Yeah, so after that I kind of realized the only option I have is to delete Instagram. I was kind of thinking about whether I should delete my account or not, but I decided to keep my account and only delete the app from my phone. So it's been 2 years. I haven't reinstalled the app on my phone since then, but about twice a month I still log in on my laptop. To be honest, the only reason I do that is because my wife keeps sending me cat videos through Instagram messages. And yeah, that's literally the only reason I log in. So what happened right after I deleted the Instagram app? I'll get to the long-term benefits in a second, but I think this is interesting because when I deleted Instagram, I think for about a week, I kept taking my phone out of my pocket just to check on something, and I had no idea why I was looking at my screen. And then I realized that, oh, okay, it's probably just a freaking muscle memory that I learned from using Instagram, or learned from wanting to use Instagram. So yeah, that was weird. It took me a while, like around a week, to eliminate that habit. Yeah, but after that, to be honest, it wasn't all that difficult. So I was very excited to see the long-term benefits. Yep, so I'm gonna give you the 3 benefits that I experienced since I deleted Instagram. So benefit number 1 is I generally feel better and a lot more content with my life. And to be honest, my life even feels slightly slower and a bit less chaotic. So I think that alone was worth it. Obviously this comes from comparing yourself and your life and your achievement to other people. I just kept thinking, am I behind, or am I supposed to think about starting a family now? Or is it okay if I focus on my career at this stage of my life? The same is true for vacations or business. I think vacations is quite difficult, because I think at least this was the case for me. When I was trying to build a business, at the beginning I barely made any money, and I saw all those people and many of my friends who took really fancy vacations, and I just didn't think I could ever afford those things at that stage of the business. So that was quite interesting. I constantly question myself whether it's worth struggling with the business. Yeah, so benefit number 2, it's a big one. It's a better focus. Obviously, I guess the most obvious distraction factor was the notifications, although I could have turned those off. But I think the whole focus benefit is multi-dimensional, because first of all, I'm not distracted by the notifications, which is great. But on the other hand, I also eliminated a platform where people were able to send me messages. Honestly, I don't really understand why these social platforms have to include messaging in their platform. It's just super annoying. I honestly don't understand how people can keep track of messages in iMessage, Messenger, TikTok, Instagram, all that kind of crap. Yeah, so we're still talking about improved focus, and this is true for being able to focus on other people when I hang out with them. Yeah, that's probably the result of not getting notifications and messages on Instagram all the time, so I can fully pay attention to what they're saying without having to look at my phone because an Instagram notification comes in. Yeah, and I think another focus related benefit is that it makes it 100 times easier for people to talk to me. Let me know if you've ever sat in a room with someone who did this. Yeah, it's absolutely annoying sometimes, and I'm very happy that I'm very rarely that person. Sometimes I'm guilty of scrolling through YouTube shorts. So the third and last benefit is obviously more time, because I could finally use all that time I spent on Instagram and do something actually useful. I'm not sure if there's too much I can tell about saving time because it's pretty straightforward, but I think it's still worth looking into your screen time analytics on your phone to see how much time you could potentially save if you quit Instagram. I think for me it was roughly 2 hours a day, which is just crazy to think about. So those are the 3 benefits I wanted to give you today, but let me get to the final question. Will I ever reinstall Instagram on my phone? And the answer is maybe. If being active on Instagram would somehow be part of my business, or if I could find a way to create content on Instagram that is actually useful, then I would probably consider reinstalling it. But just to follow other people's lives and, scroll through the stories and the recommended content, I would probably never install it. I would probably try to avoid Instagram at all costs. Yeah, so these are all the Instagram related topics I wanted to talk about today. But if you've watched my previous videos, you may have noticed that my preferred content to create is closer to a vlog kind of video. So I'm gonna continue this video by going for a skate session with my good friend Gary, because we have an entire skate park booked for this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Yeah, so keep watching if you're interested in watching some guys in their 30s trying to skate. Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I am about to pick up my friend Gary right now, but we should be at the skate park in 10 minutes, so we're a bit late.